I'll be one of these. The one that isn't exactly real. I believe you said you shut the book and try to go to sleep, right?
Yeah.
Okay. As you do, you put the book down on a little night table, very decrepit, barely stands in on itself, lying on the bed. As you do, a sliver of a page seems to fall almost from the book. It seems to be written in a different sort of ink, and that particular page does seem better preserved somehow.
I'll pick it up.
All right. Looking at it, you see it. It is still written in the same handwriting. It reads, "It has been expressed like this: each hour has its color, but color exists only where there is light. Light there here is written with a capital L."
Interesting.
You do anything?
I mean, no, he'll just keep that in mind.
All right. I assume you then go back to sleep.
Yeah.
All right. You do so. You lie on the bed. It's very unpleasant. The drapes themselves are in terrible condition and are very itchy. It almost seems like someone's trying to stab at you with 1,000, 1,000,000 small knives. It's almost like laying on a bed of needles. But you do manage to fall asleep. You feel an odd sensation about an hour maybe into your sleep. It's a bit hard to tell. You don't stay too conscious while asleep. It feels almost like something cool begins to wrap itself around your head. And then you start to feel knives. One, two, 12, and you keep going up, each of them, almost like something wriggling around you. It goes in over your body and keeps going up and up until it reaches your face. And almost like a thin strip, it wraps itself around your face and begins to squeeze. Do you do anything?
Am I able to move?
I mean, vaguely.
I mean, he'll try to see if he can break himself free.
Alright, you do so. You try and raise your hands to unfurl this thing from around your head, and as you go ahead to try and do that, it clenches tighter and begins to widen. As you open your eyes, I assume at this point you got your eyes open?
Yeah.
Yeah. As you open your eyes, you see that around you is not as scenery as before. All around you is white. You're in a dense, lush forest, which you can clearly see as the being wrapped around you, a centipede, enormous, easily as long as both your arms combined, and twice as thick. It begins to crawl down you and out on the grass. Around you, the dense vegetation is almost grayed out by a thick, dense fog that covers it all. Nevertheless, you see in front of you there is a quite sizable tree. From it, you feel many things. It's almost weird, but it almost seems to draw out your desires. 1,000 thoughts you haven't really given any space for before begin to fill your mind. Desires. From the tree are thick droplets, almost like small rivers, of an odd orange material. It almost seems like amber. The centipede begins to wriggle towards the tree. You do anything?
I'm just gonna sit there as he's just contemplating, like, ugh, I just got out of a fight.
That is for you are not long rested, for the record.
Yep.
All right. The centipede keeps crawling and goes on the trees. As it goes up and up, you start feeling weird, almost like you've got butterflies in your stomach. Is it nervousness? That doesn't seem so natural. It's not completely like Andre. It's almost external. The centipede keeps rolling up on the tree and up and up. It eventually reaches the middle point of it, where a hand, very androgynous, grunts out slowly, casually, and the centipede goes up it. Leaves begin to rustle. Everywhere, it sounds like 1,000 whispers, as though nature itself is prowling secrets. You do anything?
No, he's just like, he's just gonna, not gonna say it out loud, just think to himself, man, if they're gonna kill me, can they just get on with it?
A voice erupts from the tree. Oh, truly. The arm turns and faces you. Well, faces is perhaps an odd word, as truly it's only an arm. It's a very fine arm. There doesn't seem to be any scar. The skin itself is almost silk-like and has a color that almost seems devoid of any, almost like pure white, not any actual skin hue. See? Shed the unnecessary. Cut the past. Yes. And
Huh?
come closer to the thing. I can feel her upon you. Her gaze still lingers.
Alright, I'll walk up. Also, you're a little low for me.
Yeah. Is this better?
Yes.
Curious. Not many have borne your attention and left. Caped. Certainly no prey. How is it you came to meet the mayor in the tree?
Is that you? Did you just talk about yourself in the third person, or? Because if you're asking, I have no idea how I got here.
So ignorant. Though I suppose, for one from nowhere, that can hardly be called surprising.
What? What do you mean from nowhere? I mean, I know where I was from.
Ah, self-centered as the mortals have grown to be.
Self-centered.
Trey, we, and the last seems he's favored you. As the odd voice comes out from the tree, the arm gesticulates somewhat, not in any overly dramatic fashion, almost simply to accentuate the words. The arm goes in back on itself, almost pausing, thankful. As it does once more, you feel another burst from the tree. Once more, desires that you've had and held within you burst forth once more. How do I feel right now?
Uh, a lot of it's just wanting things to just kind of stop. He doesn't really know exactly what he wants. He just wants everything that has happened to stop. Because he knows that he can't have the past, but what he has now isn't desirable either. So he just wants everything to stop so he can think.
Ah, no, you haven't cut away anything. You've not shed them. You're no barber. You're nothing more than a betrayer. You've cut and cut and cut, never thinking, without purpose. Why is it you keep cutting?
Well, despite everything that's happened, I still want to help people. So if I can at least keep some people safe, I'm fine with that.
See, self-righteous desires at flit like a moth drawn to a flame. Once again, you fall and abandon them. I know, and I'm sure you do as well. I should reward you for managing to leave with a mare's affection. How would you like? Would you prefer a boon, a smidge of my own influence, or perhaps you're one of those who looks underneath the barks for the letters, the words, the whispers of the velvet here in our domain?
Uh, I guess I'll take a boon.
Such insipid desires. No vanity, no ambition, no walking, trudging along, obliged. I'll grant you something fitting. And the arm extends once more. From the fingers, a small bulb emerges, and quickly it grows, almost like a pod or a seed. It grows into an odd fruit. It seems almost gray in coloration, has the rough shape of a pear, although from one end of it, there's a large part that strikes out. It makes its shape very odd, almost with just a cylinder jutting out. After a few seconds, the fruit continues to grow, and then stops, and falls. The fruit at this point is about the size of a watermelon. It's quite sizable. And falls, and falls to the ground with a low thud. Its fall softened by the crunching of leaves and the coming of bees all around it.
I'll go pick it up.
You do so. As you approach it, the bees continue flitting about it. They don't seem to mind your presence, almost seeing you as just part of themselves. You pick up the fruit. It's much heavier than a watermelon. You actually have to exert quite a bit of effort to even lift it to your eye level. Do you manage to do it? And suddenly, its weight changes. It's now extremely light, almost like a feather. And for quite a few seconds, the weight continues to oscillate between being extremely dense and heavy and very light.
So what exactly do I do with this?
Mortals stole water from the wheel, attempted to banish the forests, have lost their hunger. It's only right to reclaim it. You, in particular, lack any hunger. Plunge deep within yourself and draw whichever remains of that primordial force you have and bite it. And as the voice says that, a small pack of wolf begins to circle around you, sprouting from the emergent vegetation. There's about 2 dozen of them. They don't seem to be ready to attack or anything. They begin circling around you, tightening. Reclaim that hunger.
Alright, he'll take a bite.
As you take your first bite of the fruit, you're immediately filled with the very first dream Andre had, his aspiration, the one thing he sought to devote himself to. What is that?
He thought that he was nothing, but he thought that he could elevate Yeza and Kana to really make a good difference in the world. So he kind of devoted himself to them.
At first, that desire feels foreign to you almost. It's been so long. You've lost you've lost that. You discarded it. It almost seems to make its way back to you at home. The wolves keep tightening around you. At this point, they're very close, less than 5 feet. A dozen of them turn towards you. In their eyes, you feel something odd. Not unlike kinship, but definitely separate, distinct. They keep tightening around you. Their maws begin to open, and a small bit of drool drips from all of them. You do anything?
He'll just continue eating.
As you eat deeper into the fruit, another memory comes back to Andre. Something that marked him. Something that changed that first dream. What was that? Is there such a thing?
Well, first when he met his group of what would to be his friends, he kind of basically his main goal was just to try to keep them safe.
Mm-hmm. So his original goal changes to that just by being close to them. Is that right?
Yeah, it's the first time he was ever felt like he was responsible for someone.
No, not for one like you. Never could you remain restrained by ties. Always you will flit on your own, alone, bird. The wolves grow even closer. At this point, they seem a hair's breadth away from devouring you. As they keep getting closer, they almost seem to meld. Their shape twists, and they all turn into one, each of their paw. Just another leg, another foot. What do you do?
He'll just keep eating.
I see. As you eat more of the fruit, you've almost conquered it. The fruit itself has this completely bitter taste. It almost seems like you're just eating raw leaves, dead ones. You bite into it once more, without any of the juices spilling this time. Almost the texture of sand. And the memory shifts once more. And the last time Andre saw his party, a time when he started to realize, and when that dream showed itself as difficult to maintain. How does Andre feel?
He doesn't really feel anything. At least not what he can put into words.
I see. So insipid. Very fruit of life is what you make of it. And this is yours. The wolves keep melting, and their skin shifts. They become a huge, towering creature, with not one or two or 12 or 20 legs, and numbers well in the hundreds, and an elongated shape. The fur permeates the entirety of the thing, and all of their maws gather at the front into one morbid, horrifying centipede. It dawns on you, falling, or rather, lurching from the sky. As it goes to devour you, does Andre do anything?
I'll try to jump back.
Alright. You try and jump back. The centipede has already coiled itself. As you attempt to move and escape, you're only pushed harder against the surface, against the creature. And it falls upon you, devouring you whole. Your vision changes once more, this time darkened, as though within the entrails of a great beast. As you open it once more, you find yourself in a not unfamiliar world. However, it's much grayer than before. In fact, you can't make out any of the light. And that's where we'll end the session.
All right.
So that was a bit different. Did you like it?
Yeah.
Nice. I don't know how that was really going to pan out since a bit unlike the usual game.
That's all good.
All right. Well, right. I, I really don't know what